You are listening to episode 54 of the Underhook Show. My name is Steve, as always, alongside my co-host Chris. Chris, it's good to be back after a unexpected absence. How you doing, my friend? How you been?
A lot better. The sinus infection, upper respiratory infection, whatever it was, infection is gone. I'm ready to talk wrestling again. I'm ready to go see wrestling with you on Sunday.
Let me knock on wood real quick. Yeah, we can start there. Our weeks were all over the place last week. You ended up making the G1. I did not. And no sour grapes here. Don't want you to hold back. Your experience from the G1 Climax. Opening night, which is normally in Osaka every single year, was in Hoffman Estates. You were able to make the show. Any takeaways from real deal New Japan, not New Japan Strong, not New Japan of America? This was the whole kit and caboodle of tournament wrestling.
For a guy that doesn't really know a lot of New Japan, I had a blast. Like, seeing people I knew, seeing people making new fans of people I didn't know. Yudo Ice, big guy over here now, big Yudo Ice guy. Him and Great Khan had a good match, but my match, honestly, the match I enjoyed the most was the Callum match. Callum Newman. I can't say his name.
Against my guy Yuya.
Yeah, like that was honestly the best for me. That was probably my favorite match of the night. Takeshita and what's his name? Yuda? Suji. Takeshita and Shuji had a good match. That was a very solid match, but a lot of upset wins, though. A lot of upset wins, in my opinion. Jake Lee upsetting Shingo, right? Yeah, so I was like, that was a big upset, in my opinion. So
yeah, definitely.
Good night, though. Good night.
Yeah, it's good, and I'm glad. It seemed that, like we were saying, it wasn't a packed house, but the people who were in the building were all they all cared, like the real ones were in the room. So I'm glad that you and some other friends of mine got to enjoy that. I'll get my lick back eventually. Unfortunate news coming out of night one: Shota Umino suffered a concussion and has to forfeit the rest of his tournament matches. And a lot of people were pegging him to actually win the whole thing. So now that makes the outcome a whole lot more unpredictable. I have not watched anything from night one. I was in a coma on my couch watching Argentina. So, which again, they played today too, and they found a way to win at the last minute. But I will catch up with all 2026 stuff after my surgery, which I will talk about on this show when we get closer, because we will have to have a little bit of a summer break. But you got us for a couple more weeks here. We missed a hell of a week to not pod because there were two major title changes in North America. CM Punk, world champion in Chicago, or Rosemont, and Kenny Omega is the AEW world champion.
Yeah.
It's 2022 all over again. Well, I guess 2021 for Kenny, but yeah, how'd you feel? Because we both watched the Raw match, and then we obviously we both were tapped into Dynamite. Thoughts on just everything crazy happening this week? Because that is a giant swing from just a couple of weeks ago.
So the MJF one kind of shocked me because I feel like Redemption was made for Kenny Omega to win the title, hence the name Redemption. But I think MJF is actually hurt. Like, he had his leg heavily taped up, so.
Dude, it looked like he was like wrapping it more by the week.
Yeah,
like,
so
it was like mummy style by this point.
And kudos to him for putting on that banger of a match, though, too. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
especially outside in the heat.
Yeah, he went all out, so that was a good one. But on the other side of the spectrum, poor Sami Zayn.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Now I understand, you've listened for a while, I am a Punk guy, but I don't think Sami's going anywhere in that title picture. I mean, he's already, if you look at the Saturday night's main event match that was announced, Cody and Punk against Gunther and Sami.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be a staple in there now. It's just like 2 years too late, in my opinion. And then you do that.
Yeah, the whole thing was mishandled. I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying, and don't count on WWE to do the logical thing here with booking. But Sami Zayn has a legitimate issue to challenge for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, okay, I think Sami will actually be okay. And if you look at where he was, like, I don't know, 6 months ago, where like WWE's core audience just wanted nothing to do with him, I think he made out okay.
Yeah, and I will say, like, the match between him and Punk on Raw was actually good. It wasn't like a bullshit match,
Yeah, it wasn't like, just hit your finisher and go home. It was good. I think maybe a little bit too finisher spammy in the end, but that's just kind of WWE main events these days.
That's wrestling in general, though.
Yeah, for real. Like I think if you, our last episode was a Forbidden Door review, and we definitely had some things to say about that. But yeah, that's just kind of U.S. house style, unfortunately. But yeah, I like the Kenny MJF match for the most part. I think it got a little overbooked in the end. I thought that like I thought the Avalanche was it the Avalanche One Wing Angel, like that just should have been it.
Yeah, I thought it was, and then
Yeah,
but
but I get what they're doing though with Osprey in the ring. They're planting seeds for when MJF comes back, when Osprey's champion. Like Tony's playing the long game with this stuff, but he was playing all kind of fucking games tonight, which we will get into. A couple more things I wanted to rattle off. Today is actually 20 years of Cage of Death.
sir, I saw the clip of it on Twitter today.
Yeah, I watched the Homicide segment today, like his dedicated part of the match, because that's one of the greatest stretches of any match to ever take place, in my opinion. I did not watch the whole feud like I was hoping to, but I mean, I kind of know where I'm at with extracurricular wrestling viewing outside of the show and the channel, which is I gotta finish 96 ECW before I can really watch much else. Have you been watching anything else in the meantime?
When I was sick, I just had some old CZWs on, but nothing too crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. I tried watching some of the AAA because I've been locking into a little bit of Lucha Libre, and so
Yeah, waiting on that Zona show.
man, please give me this show. But no, I watched a little bit of AAA and I see Vikingo got hurt again, so it kind of stinks. But I do like what they're doing with the Pero. I cannot say their name. Del Mar Pero still.
Pedo, yeah, Pedo
Yeah,
Stelma.
yeah, I like that. It's like so interested to see where that's going.
Yes, they have a Balkan woman in that faction, which I don't know if she's half Serbian, half Croatian, or Croatian and Bosnian. But Carmen is from my part of the world, where my family's from. So
I think she's from
yeah,
like
so
Michigan too.
yeah, so or maybe she's from Canada. I don't know. I don't know where her
Well,
family came into,
so
but
it might have been her, but anyway, a guy that I used to work with went to school with someone that wrestles in NXT, WWE, and then from the area. So like they're like, yeah, that's actually my friend. I'm like, that's awesome.
yeah, it's cool. It's cool seeing Balkans on TV wrestling because we not the most common thing. So that's always you got to put up for your own. But was there anything? Oh, next week I believe the Joe Necro Butcher Dark
Yeah.
Side's airing. We might
Wait,
have to talk about that.
I did watch Dark Side of the Ring about TNA, all three parts. I did watch that because I love Dark
I
Side of
have
the Ring.
not. I've not gotten to that yet.
It's good.
And
It's good.
yeah, I figured as such. But we should probably talk about the Joe Necro one because that's one that's pretty close to our hearts.
Can't wait for that one.
Yeah, I saw the teasers of like Prazak and Eddie Kingston. Obviously, they couldn't get Punk for it, but like I'm glad that they got Prazak and Kingston because if you're familiar with the match, those two were just screaming at the top of their lungs on commentary the whole time, and it's just if you haven't seen Joe versus Necro Butcher, pause this and go watch it. It's all over YouTube. So
It's the best.
yeah, literally, it's one of the greatest matches of all time. Like, what else can you say about it? But
I can't wait to hear what they talk about. That's all I on.
yeah, same. I'm really looking forward to that. But we got a TV to review. Before we do, just because again, so much has happened in the last few weeks. We have a pay-per-view in our neck of the woods announced for September 26th. All Out is back home, and hopefully this is the one where I break my streak.
I'm gonna be there too. I'm gonna try to sit by you guys. So.
I'm like opposite side of Hardcam, but in the risers.
But we'll talk.
Yeah, yeah. I can't think 117 or something. I don't. I thought I bought my same section for New Japan, but it's been so long since I've actually been there that I bought one section over. But it's all working out how it needs to, right?
Oh, speaking of New Japan, so going there, I thought I was gonna sit in like section one something, but Josh was like, "No, I actually got a floor seat," which was awesome. Bro, the amount of people that weren't there though, it's crazy to me. Like a lot of empty seats.
Yeah, and you think the G1 would have more cachet in that regard? I was telling you though, like when you were messaging me when you got back from the show. Wrestling has cooled off. Like I know our concepts of time are all over the place, but it really has cooled off when you think about it.
It's oversaturated in some parts too.
Yeah, because I mean, New Japan running. Okay, that's a much bigger building than Wintrust, but I think like 5K or something like that. Like Winchester just doesn't have the upper bowl like that. Then on top of that, no AEW involvement at all. They were doing a live show somewhere. They were doing a live collision somewhere else. And I was convinced that them running where AEW runs all the time might have some crossover. But no, this was a through and through New Japan show. No guests, no surprises. Which, credit to them, like for just having the confidence to say, no, this is our promotion. These are our guys. When you look at across the board, though, obviously WWE's they came up and down over the last couple of years. Like with blame it on whatever you want, Triple H, TKO, whatever. But like their run is done. Like this is just what happens. Everybody goes up and they come back down. AEW was down for a bit and they've kind of stabilized and they're in a comfortable place. But it's not as hot as it was coming out of the pandemic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is what it is. So I just think, and then in general, like a lot of people are just down on current wrestling in general compared to years past. So it doesn't surprise me that it maybe didn't do as well as you would have thought when you see opening night of the G1. This is like, it's one of New Japan's biggest shows of their calendar. You know what I mean? Like this tournament dictates the rest of the year. So, which I hope that doesn't hurt the chances of them coming back and doing like, mainline productions here.
But I don't think so, because like I still think it did a great gate. You know what I'm saying? Like it was still a good crowd.
It just wasn't a capacity sellout.
Like we were able to scoot up a couple rows on the floor, so I'm not complaining.
No, and like, hey, you got a whole night. There's just no bullshit. 9 singles matches. Each of those wins and losses matter, and that'll all play into. I believe night 2 of the tournament is Friday, streaming live on New Japan World. So did they just do the one stand where like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there when you walk in?
Yep.
Yeah. And by the time, mind you, we thought we were up, like, we didn't think that many people were already ahead of us. And there was a lot of people, like, the line was nuts. I said, yeah, I'll come back.
And, hey man, the house always wins though, right?
Oh yeah, that flag is sick. That's all I know. Mm-hmm. Towel.
Yeah. Right. So I believe that's everything off the top of my head that I wanted to talk about. One more thing that kind of plays into the direction of the women's division, AEW. Triangle of Madness are in Stardom.
Oh, I did see that too.
Yeah, they're hinting at challenging for their trios belts, and Julia Hart will be participating in Stardom's round robin tournament.
We talked about Tekko's great commentary last week.
Dude, I don't know, was she like off the sauce or?
Either she was off the sauce or she's a great actress.
I said she's working, man.
Yeah, we can't tell. Because that was hilarious. That was awesome. I love Tekla.
She's funny as hell, dude. I know people are starting to turn on her title reign, but I mean, hey, she's funny as hell, and
it ain't her fault.
No,
they're doing it.
Yeah, right. Right, so now that we're all caught up, AEW Dynamite July 15th from Boston, Massachusetts in that sick-ass amphitheater that with the 3 vertical tiers. Man, that has to be a great...
Fenway, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
it has to be a great venue for music because if you heard how the crowd just... The noise just fell onto the ring.
Yeah.
All night. Like, it sounded like this crowd... And hey, credit to this crowd if they were up for this TV, but... It sounded awesome in there. Like I think the acoustics in there generally gave the show a shot in the arm.
This venue's awesome. I love small venues. Like AEW did the right thing by going to smaller venues.
Yeah, and then like us, we always talk about it's cool when they each have a unique look. It's not so sterile. It's
last week. I love last week's. Last week was awesome.
It's something that AEW definitely has been more enthusiastic about because like when you look at TV wrestling through the 2010s, it's always so sterile. So. It's cool that we get this again as of late. I think the most recent time they ran this venue was WrestleMania week last year with Mercedes Athena. Yeah, I want to say that. Opening match, I believe it was just a cold open. I was a couple minutes behind, so I just skipped to the opening match.
There's a
recap of last week.
There was a Osprey and Mox vignette in the beginning. Where it was Osprey was training with the Death Riders and I think Mox came in. Yeah, Mox came in. They were just talking, yada yada yada.
The more that I think about how just crazy the layout of this show was, this makes a lot of sense because Death Riders had their fingerprints all over this TV. I'll just get this reference out of the way. Tony Khan, Flow State booking, full Pepe Silva board.
Oh yeah, there is no Pepe Silva.
There is just every faction's interacting with each other through multiple segments. Like the run-ins were just nonstop. So I understand why they would open with Death Riders, right? But
it was mostly like Mox. He said like your neck's fine, your neck or the work's done, and your neck is strong. But now people are gonna make it complicated. So
and boy did they.
Yeah.
We could start here with the opening match. Cage and Cope defending their belts for the second or third time. Let's say third time against the Death Riders stooge pairing of Daniel Garcia, Wheeler Yuta. I was mainly fixated on them during this match because, I mean, it is what it is with Cage and Cope at this point. Like, I'm not going to act like I'm...
We know the end game.
Yeah, I'm not going to act like I'm driving nails into my eyes when they're wrestling, but it's like, we know what we're doing here. However, when I talk about Yuta and Garcia being fantastic utility players, this is exactly what I'm talking about, man. They made this thing work. They were towing the line here. They just know when to eat shit. They know when in control, everything was going as well as it could have. I really like them in this spot. Obviously, we want more for them, especially somebody like Danny. But I thought that their performance in this was like they nailed the assignment. You know what I mean?
I honestly think give them the Ring of Honor tag belts. Give them something. You know what I'm saying? Just add some gold. If you're not gonna get, because obviously the tag team titles are gonna be tied up for a minute. But I like these guys as like a young little shit heel team. So
yeah, especially against who are the ROH tag champs, right? Is it still Mystico Bandito?
Possibly.
That'd be a cool match.
Yeah, and run it.
Yeah. Another thing too, you may have forgotten. Christian and Daniel Garcia have established chemistry. They had a really good singles match on Revolution a few years ago, and I was eager to see them lock up again. And yeah, I think that this was just a nail the assignment, classic tag structure. Crowd was really into this for what it's worth. And they did a really good job of getting heat on themselves, and like they knew when to show ass, and then they wrapped it up, Like, I think got a little too much time, but I think that's, it's Cage and Cope matches at this stage. But, yeah, no major complaints here. It's like they're going to be on the show, whatever. Now we get into Run-In City here, because, boy, there's just, you got the Young Bucks up in the stands, you got the Dogs who are Death Rider affiliates now, even though Gabe Kidd can't enter the country because of visa troubles, and he's in the G1, and he's the common denominator here. This is we're gonna be doing a lot of this run on sentences here. Bang Bang Gang makes the save, so then you have a babyface faction that does not get along with the tag champs, with two heel factions out there who are the same faction, and this is only the opening part of the show. This is only segment 1, segment 2.
The 2K universe mode.
Yeah, that absolute universe mode where you're just hitting interference. Jay White takes a shillelagh. David Finlay crashes out. That is the direction we're going there. But I swear to God, Tony Khan was the only person who remembered that Jay White and Christian had an issue. Because we're still doing this.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I feel gaslit into thinking this was a feud.
Well, now and then, at the end, he shook his head, okay, now it's nothing. No, well, shake it off now. Nothing ever happened in the first place. Y'all are trying to gaslight us. I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything.
I got nothing, bro.
We know Jay White. We've followed him since the beginning of our show. And listen, he is not feuded with Christian.
I would have been up for that, them two getting a pay-per-view feud. You know what I mean? Because I think they would work really well together. But we're heading towards the Jay White Finlay blow off, and I am looking forward to that.
Probably Redemption, I'm assuming.
I would hope so. And I've said before, I'll say it again. AW does pretty well with the 2-week build, and I did not realize we were even on a 2-week build. I would have thought Redemption's a month away.
So far they've been putting out some good matches though for it.
Yeah, so
for a pay-per-view that I wasn't interested in the first place.
Yeah, that's right around the corner. Next week's go home, so they got to fill that card. recap of Collision, which I didn't get to this week, but Aminata making this save after Sheeta was beaten down on Harley Cameron. So now we're back to Aminata in the TBS title picture. Why didn't she
I should win it.
Yeah, I know that her contract status is actually up in the air right now. She was pretty public about that. I would hope that she would stay and that they give her more to do because anytime she's had a chance, she looks great.
Yeah, we haven't got enough of her, in my opinion. Because she got
Like
hurt,
she,
unfortunately, you know.
yeah, and I just mean like anytime, especially like in a singles match capacity, like she just nails it. She's awesome.
Oh, yeah, kills it.
We want more for Queen Aminata.
Absolutely.
Andrade backstage has the Dynamite Diamond ring. I think this is what I was referring to we were talking about last week. MJF's gone, but we're keeping him in mind. This isn't the Hangman thing,
That's smart.
which the lack of Hangman even being referenced on this show.
Can we pause real quick and take it to Collision real quick?
Did you see the promo? I did not.
I did not see the promo, but I got the gist of the promo of like watching a clip of it on like TikTok or something. It was, I might not be able to challenge for the world title, but there are other titles in AEW I can go for. Later on in the night, Kyle Fletcher cut a promo and called out Hangman, say that, well, you can challenge other titles, and then I have the TNT title. And so I feel like that's where we're going with that, but who knows?
Yeah, I could see them running that back.
But now you're going with Bandito. Oh,
All In. They both need something to do for All In. If MJF's not well, MJF Andrade seems to be the match there. Probably All In.
yeah.
I mean, it's the two guys that they you would hope would have a featured singles match on the big show.
I mean, probably makes sense.
I have an issue with his absence at the top of the hour, but we'll save that for then. Conglomeration versus the Demand. Count me in.
Okay, absolutely.
Absolutely here for this. I don't know why the swirl's involved. Maybe that'll be like a middle of the road challenge. But yeah, those six though, Roddy, Kyle, and Orange against our guys and Ricochet, that's going to be a blast.
As a matter of fact, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if the Demand won.
Give him something, yeah.
I wouldn't be mad. Fuck. Give him the.
We thought that was the end game here at Ricochet, and then they invented a new belt.
Yeah, then whatever.
Right. So.
Well, then he got into some hot water for a little bit, so maybe that's why I cooled him down for a little bit.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
However, Demand Conglomeration feud. I mean, you could just run that.
Yeah.
Any variation, it'll be sick.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. 100%. This is a very underhook-pilled match here. One of the few things I was aware that was on the card coming into the show. Andrade El Idolo versus Jake Doyle with the stipulation that if Andrade wins, he gets Mark Davis at the paper.
Yeah, I forgot that they announced this match last week.
Really cool styles clash here. And Jake Doyle's getting more and more, I think, now, like, that he's back full-time, up and running, putting him in these single spots. Like, he's flourishing into a really good TV wrestler. I know he was doing that in TNA, but I mean, like, as far as this stage in this roster, with the chances he's been given, he's sticking the landing, so to speak, and I think he did that here.
This is our guy.
Yeah, dude.
Both of our guys, actually, but
yeah, and I don't think we often see Andrade as the small guy, in like a big small type of match like this. Typically, Andrade has been, at least this year, has been featured in a lot of the more fireworks end of things, the hyper athletic showcase, you know what I mean, like the U's and Ahs, like, because he's really good at that style. So, bit of an interesting matchup here, but it was kind of like them both going for it, so to speak, because Andrade got his shots in when he could, obviously. And there were some really cool moments here too. I love the crucifix reversal out of the black hole slam.
Yeah, I love when Doyle always hits that Liger bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting.
Yeah, looks awesome. Yeah. And then he was obviously basing well for the Lucha offense. And yeah, I mean, don't have too much to say about this other than it went as well as it could have, I thought.
And now the next match it's gonna be sick as fuck too. So Dunkzilla, yeah, give me that.
Imagine sitting here a year ago saying that AEW is going to run Andrade versus Mark Davis singles match on pay-per-view.
Yeah. Shout out.
What a way to like rehab both these guys. I mean, considering like Andrade was in the Shadow Realm for a little bit, and like Mark Davis kind of felt like dead on arrival when he did come back, and he's just, again, when we talk about guys like Doyle, Mark Davis making the most of these opportunities, now I got Andrade and Mark Davis on pay-per-view. I think that will be much more of a, like, I would say even more of a slugfest than this, because as like Jake Doyle does the powerhouse thing so well, where Mark Davis plays to his size, but he's more likely for it to kind of collapse into a slugfest. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, I can't wait, dude.
Yeah, that'll be a cool match.
Now, do you think they put the belt on Andrade? Not the world title, obviously, but the. Or do you think he
So
would
this
like
national belt's supposed to be the touring belt, right?
Yeah. Hasn't really
If
gone
this
anywhere,
is
though.
if this is how we get Andrade back in Arena Mexico,
I mean, I wouldn't mind if they do that. Just pull the trigger, give him something, but I feel like some chicanery is going to happen and he'll win by DQ or something.
yeah, I mean, Don Callis have like 30 people ready to interfere, so.
Don Callis factory.
Or if this is like a short-term injury, MJF will just,
That too.
yeah.
Set up for All In.
But I mean, if they need something for him to do until then, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I mean, he's been featured enough. You might as well give him something.
Do something, yeah.
Yeah.
That might actually help the title too, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Recap of the main event from last week. I loved, like, that felt very much more like a Kenny match than a MJF match, and I love just how over the top they were with like him doing the moonsault off the diving board
It's crazy.
not the diving board, the lifeguard chair.
I said when I saw the lifeguard stand, I said someone better dive off of that, like WCW Bash at the Beach style.
And it somehow wasn't Darby.
Yeah, it's who I thought it would have been for sure, but I thought Jericho even in the first match maybe.
Yeah, which they're wild in on that one, man.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad match either, all things considered.
Yeah, I'll have a take on that when we get to the pre-tape a little bit later in the show. But is as much as I rag on MJF, especially when it comes to main event match layout, I mean, obviously TV constraints, you can't be going 45 minutes. You know what I mean? I thought he did it. I thought he did a really good job considering his injury, and that's got to be one of the most like picture perfect table bumps you could ask for.
Oh yeah, right through the middle.
Like face first, yeah. Like they nailed that, like production wise, and then obviously with like the actual landing, he stuck the landing, you know.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
All right, Kenny Omega Town Hall.
Well, it's Town Hall. It's like a fucking city hall.
Yeah, we're mayored up here at City Hall, but the Bucks are here. I was convinced Hangman would be here.
That's what we said. That's what me and Josh said too. We're like, oh, Hangman's coming.
Because there's some friction there, I would think. Like, Hangman can't challenge for any more belts, back with the Elite, not even mentioned.
No, after just being on TV Saturday.
Am I the only one that found that weird?
Hey, when me and Josh were watching it, we said, hey, where is Hangman? Like, Hangman's coming out, right? You got the bus coming out. No, nothing.
The first half of this segment, I didn't really have an issue with. Like, it really does. Like, let's talk about the good here. Like, this really does feel like victory lap stuff for Kenny, and he, at the very least, I feel like for AEW should get that.
Yeah, I mean, I have no issue with him holding the title and doing his thing. None of that. Like you said, the first half of this is awesome, but it just goes so south so quick.
Now, I saw, rumors, innuendo, dirt sheet, whatever you want to call it, but the move for Kevin Knight to challenge has been going around for over a week now. At least it feels like it. I have no issue with that. I think that's a great call, personally. I think that is a huge vote of confidence. And considering we're not going to get a Darby-style title reign with Kenny here, got to pick your spots. I think we might get one more before the Ospreay match. But I think it's a really cool matchup. I think it's Kevin Knight already getting a main event at this stage, like a pay-per-view main event, a world title main event. Really, really good news considering how highly we hold him in regard, and obviously how highly the company sees him. But it felt like Kenny was just talking in circles for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, he said something. He said a sentence, but he said the same word over and over in the same sentence. But it was crazy what he said. I don't know. It was this just rambled on. It was bad. Yeah, I did not like this.
Yeah, I think it's enough there. You know, I do like how they did acknowledge, hey, like MJF promised you the title shot, but whatever. Like, let's see what you got. You know, like, that's fine. And it's classic up and comer getting a little too confident against veteran champion, right? Like we've seen this. Like that's a common trope. No issue with that. Promo though derailed the rest of the show. Yeah. Good news though. Hechicero got his visa issues resolved.
I was happy.
Yeah.
So I said, at first I was a little sad because there was somebody not involved in this, but then it was okay.
Now our dog is like designated announce table heater now.
For Kyle Fletcher. And so what was funny during this segment, and they Hechicero, Rapungi, they all come out, and Josh knows me and goes, "Where's your boy at?" I said, "No." I said, "No, sir. He's gonna come out with Kyle Fletcher." And look what happened. I was right.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't got him doing grunt work of intimidating the world
Yeah, you don't
champion
gotta do
now.
all that. Not in the Mary Jeans.
No, no. Yeah, him and Yuto Ice are
Yeah.
in the back room of the Amiri store,
So I used to live in
throwing
the
the
best life in Chicago. I
throwing the money around. Oh, man, dude, they had like we'll talk about it, but they had like cargo pockets on the front of the jeans, dude. I don't. He's moving different.
he is a different breed. All right.
Darby continuing his reign of terror as far as jumping Kevin Knight every week. I'm really excited for this match. I almost thought this could have easily been on the pay per view. And who's to say that they don't have the blow off at all in? But
Yeah, I was thinking that all that's gonna be good. It's gonna be a stiff match or something.
yeah, they've wrestled twice now, and they're both babyface versus babyface. And I
Well,
believe I was
he said next week though.
yeah, it is next week.
Yeah. So
I was saying I'm shocked that they're like obviously they had to do it. They had to do it in between because of he's wrestling Kenny at the pay per view. But I talked about it when he turned. That their other two matches were both really great. And those are face versus face matches, and now when you do have a much more clear cut dynamic of babyface and heel, and we know Kevin Knight's strength. Him and Darby, man, that I can't wait for that next week. He's gonna do something really depraved, and that's after this week's match, which we haven't even gotten to yet.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't wait. We'll get there.
Yeah. Jungle Man has re-signed with All Elite Wrestling and issuing an open challenge to up-and-coming talent on Collision. Jurassic Express here to stay. I mean, I didn't really see him going anywhere else. I don't know where he would go. It'd be funny as hell if he went to WWE, but take away that's take away all the shit, right? I just don't see him fitting there. Like it's just not.
Not he fits in AEW.
Yeah, it just seems like the
Nothing
only
against
place.
him.
Yeah,
Nothing against him. I like Jungle Man.
yeah, I just don't see him. I just don't think it would work there. So like I'm like, dispelling all the rumors that people were throwing around. Like, would it have been funny? Yes, but come on now.
The memes would have been priceless. But
Yeah. Standby match here. Wait, you good?
we didn't need this match.
No, because you could have just done a backstage segment or did all this on Collision.
No, or you could have still did what happened at the end of the Kyle Fletcher match. You know what I'm saying? You still could have did that.
Yeah, that could have been a way. It could have been a way to get there.
I'm not mad because anytime we see Brodito on TV is awesome, but
Yeah, and it's like it's almost now that they're like still a team, but more kind of off doing their own thing when they are on TV as a team. It's like, oh hey, Brodito's back, Yeah, Shiesty over the Lucha mask is insane.
he knows what's gonna pop me. All right.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. And also the silver mask too.
So now let's let you know in ranking, this ranks above tiny oxygen mask on mask. So,
Yeah, that's the hierarchy.
Yeah,
so Shiesty over Lucha mask
yeah.
above Oxygen mask over Luchasaurus mask.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Has to be. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, I'll be real because I ended up starting TV late. I watched this at like 1.5 speed.
But that's fine. It didn't matter. Nothing happened. Camarado, hairier than ever. And I don't know if he still dresses like a pimp though. I haven't seen this team in forever. So
Yeah, he was dressing crazy like that, like silk shirts and hats and shit.
yeah, like derby hats and like eating suckers. Really weird.
Hey, Aaron Solo gets a TV payday after all that weird shit about Arby's or whatever, so good for him.
Shout out.
Yeah.
But then he got his ass fucking splunked by Brodito.
That was awesome. Whole point of this though was to cause the commotion backstage, which leads us to Kyle Fletcher versus Bandito at Redemption. Which again, I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all. I feel like there are these big matches for Fletcher that they're slowly but surely checking off the list. And this is kind of his... you know, you can get the TNT, Continental, and International title all kind of grouped together. But this does feel like a more... We're not really waiting around anymore. We're going to give you... this is kind of his, like... This was like Ospreay with the US title, if you remember those days. To where it's like, he could easily be main eventing these shows as well. But... So they're just going to have him, like, he's not a mid-card guy anymore. They know what they're doing with him, but they're just like, hey, we got all this other stuff to take care of first.
Okay, so, like, placeholder champion. Not really placeholder, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like, guy in waiting, definitely.
1B.
Yeah, essentially. So that's why you're getting, like, all these crazy matchups as far as, like, you know, taking the belt off Takeshita, which, that's efficient work considering Takeshita's going to be gone for a month, even though he was still here.
That was what I was confused about. I said, aren't you supposed to be in Japan? Like, why? You know what? Hey, do your thing.
Yeah, so they got that going on.
Let's see, from Chicago to Boston.
Going out of the way a little bit, but what do I know?
Chase a bag, baby.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Commander's back, too.
Speaking of chasing the bag, the fit on our Lord and Savior, the Swift.
All right, yeah, let's break this down. But first of all, it's good to see Commander back. I think he was in that group of guys who were having visa issues, which we got certain people from England, certain people from Mexico, certain people from Japan, but Gabe Kidd, they couldn't get that one figured out. Interesting.
Well, his promo was I don't know what he'd be doing in his promo, but I'm locked in every time he talks. Like a drill rapper.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's pulling from, like, road culture.
It's hard to understand him sometimes, but hey.
Yeah. Kurzel Massive, if anybody is aware of UK YouTube memes from, like, 15 years ago, I think of Kurzel Massive when I hear a Gabe Kidd promo. Yeah, okay. Archer fit, insane. I was taken back by the cargo pockets on the front of the jeans.
Sure.
But all overprint on the sleeves?
Yeah, you know.
With the chain?
Your weekly fashion tips from the Lance Archer.
But we gas them up, but like nobody's rocking that though. Like, you don't see people in Affliction style shirts like this, like and stunting like this. No.
All you want, he's still out here, all right?
And he's rocking like silver braids, like no, like he's somebody who carved out his own swag and owns it.
And he doesn't have to do anything but be a heater, all right? That's all he's got to do.
No, he's just aura farming.
Yep, you're winning.
And collecting a check, stacking money. Dude, he's living the life, man. I can't believe they messed with us saying he wasn't going to resign. Because nobody else can fill this role.
Brian Cage, no thank you. He can't even fit in regular clothes.
Yeah, he'd be bursting out of those cargo pockets.
You'd have to cut the sleeves off all the shirts.
Yeah, he is looking ridiculous. But again, we'll talk about that in a sec. But Fletcher Commander, this was a lot of fun. And this was kind of what I was telling you, where like they're gonna have Fletcher go out there and tear the house down night in, night out with a variety of opponents. A good warm up for Bandito, considering, you know, Takeshita, much different opponent. I mean, obviously Takeshita's gonna be doing all kinds of wild shit, but when you're facing a luchador and you are the bigger man, we talk about basing a lot. He had to do a lot of that here, and I thought he did a really good job setting up for Commander. Now I wouldn't blame me for it.
I love Commander being back. So it was a great spot fest. The whole sequence where it was at the end there, where Commander cut him off, he did something. He like reversed it. He bounced off the rope, like he springboarded. He did like a flip power driver, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the springboard destroyer.
Yeah, but like the way that he went to go do something, and Kyle Fletcher cut him off on the ropes. But then
Mm-hmm.
Commander dropped down on his legs, flipped out. The whole sequence is awesome. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
and when you're jumping into a destroyer, it could look whack, but no, like this looked all like it
It's
looked great.
like all one motion with nuts. So
Yeah, like people can, it's easy to just like write shit off, like when it comes to like Spot Fest fireworks stuff like that. But these two are doing it at a very high level, and I had a lot of fun with it. Fletcher's really good too at like taking something a lot more routine and just making it look gross. Like his Michinoku driver's nuts.
yeah, and it's very safe too.
Yeah, but it looks like he's like 20 feet in the air with it to put stank on it, if you
For
will.
that, he fucked himself up on the table too.
Yeah, that looked gross.
Hey, well, and at first they were like, Shivani said, "Oh, he lacerated," and I can't see. I was like, I don't see anything. And also, you see him
No,
laying on
that
it.
was one of those. That was one of those stingers that like got more and more
Yeah, well,
swelling. Like it swelled up
it,
as the match went on.
and I'm looking, and I'm like, "Oh, he's bleeding right there." And then when they panned away, you could still see like the blotch getting bigger. I said, "Oh, that never mind, never mind." But yeah, I love Kyle Fletcher, man. I love both these guys.
Yeah, like really good to have Commander back. He's always somebody you could just kind of plug and play with, and you'll get something fun and nice middle of the road defense for Fletcher. And he has really good chemistry at Luchadors. I'd say he has a track record enough to do that. Like you wrestled Dorada last year, the Atlantis Junior feud a couple years ago, and that's a good thing to have like in your repertoire when you are, with a roster as varied as AEW. Like Fletcher's shown his versatility here as well. So well done. What are we doing with Okada here?
Are we gonna do Okada Fletcher all in?
I guess so.
Or
My
wait, is
what's the
wait,
issue
or
though?
wait, the catch should be back by then,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's probably it.
My guess, because
Man, we were talking about them doing it while all three of them were champions.
it's a little late, but I mean, if I still get it, I'll be okay. But like,
Fletcher Okada, that's happening at some point. If not one on one, like for a belt, definitely around the tournament season. I can see it as a triple threat. Maybe that's why they had Takeshita there because it's strange. We have the pay per view next week, but they're very much showing and telling with a lot of things. But yeah, really, really good match. I was a little confused by the post match.
yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I figured Brodito or at least Bandito was gonna come out, but I didn't know Takeshi was gonna come out. I thought he'd be in Japan. But yeah, I just feel like they're planting the seeds for all. It's gonna be a triple threat. I feel now that is
And that seems like the logical way to end all this, and I would just have Fletcher carry on. I'd probably have him hold that belt until it's time to get him the big one.
yeah.
Really interesting backstage segment here. I'd say way more interesting than anything else regarding the world title scene. No shade on Kevin Knight. Like I said, I love the decision to have him in the match. Just that wasn't his fault how that segment just spiraled. But Darby and Kenny on screen together. We never got it.
And crazy to him too.
Yeah, he was basically saying you can't do this peacefully. Like you got to beat some sense into the kid, and which again, Darby's like this stark raving madman, which rightfully so after Double or Nothing. Kenny obviously being, the cooler head prevailing. Enter John Moxley, referencing a few different things here. I'm not sure if you caught these, but first of all, him agreeing with Darby was interesting. But he pulled one from the William Regal feud way back when he said essentially like, be, as much as you try, as much as you pretend, like can't change what you are. And I think that is telegraphing Moxley ultimately turning again.
I didn't see it that way.
Because if he's Moxley stepping back looking at that belt. And I think for John Moxley, it doesn't matter who's holding that belt. He's coming for it. Yeah. But I don't think we're going to get Kenny Moxley again. We're going to get Ospreay Moxley for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if that's his first defense. But I would love to see a Kenny Omega Darby Allin match just once.
I would say it's probably in the cards before.
Yeah. Doesn't even have to be for the belt, just, before it's all said and done. I would imagine you'd get the most disgusting V-trigger cutoff you could think of.
Okay, top row 360, one winged angel.
Yeah, yeah, you'd get something messed up. But Brawling Birds promo in the building. They mentioned England losing, but they said Brawling Birds aren't gonna let anybody down. And I think that they were pointing to that they want to challenge for the tag belts at Wembley, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Like
That makes sense.
the hometown, or for them to be home country. I have to actually look where they're from as far as where from England, but giving them that moment at Wembley, trying to do something with those tag belts, sure. And also for their style with up against Divine Dominion, it might not be the worst matchup.
Hitting, sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that that's kind of the idea. But they were talking about how Boston liked to drink and fight. Although Scotland, when the Scotland fans were in Boston for the World Cup, they drank the city out of beer.
Hell yeah.
So I think they got exposed a little bit there. But
Is that Scotland?
yeah, the Scottish fans drank the city of Boston out of beer.
Shout out Scotland. That gave you the physically possible.
Yes, but especially if the reputation is still like Boston has. But Jericho pre-tape, all right, Painmaker, whatever. Why was it the match last week just the blow off? I thought that was a fun match that did its job. I mean, Jericho pay-per-view match in Canada, sure. Especially Bell Center's a huge building. It's like the biggest NHL NBA stadium. They don't have an NBA team, but I mean like indoor arena in the four major sports.
Yeah. I hope Chamber wins again.
Yeah, just get this over with, man. I thought the feud was going long as it was, and now it's like, okay, why do we need more of this?
It's for somebody out there, but it ain't for us.
I mean, Jericho got a really good reception in Vancouver, so they're probably thinking that for Montreal.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Darby Allin Cage. Did not know this was that. Was this like impromptu? Or was this announced?
Things are running like they got graphic for it, like in the going over the matches.
Yeah, lower third.
Yeah, but I don't think it was announced pre.
No complaints from me. Okay, Darby Allin against someone three times the size. We know the script here, and it did not disappoint.
Every time these two wrestle, I enjoy
Mm-hmm.
it. The body
Yeah,
I
this
get
is
to it will live rent free in my head.
yeah Teflon pairing here, right? And you wonder how are they going to outdo themselves. And we did get some references to the past, like the F5 on his face. You know what I mean? Making use of the connected stage, coffin drop. No, he was just thrown into the ring post, wasn't he? Okay, I'm thinking of the coffin drop. To the outside.
Seemed like a long dart.
Yes, back of his skull hitting the angled ring post. I was legitimately concerned, and I know like Darby matches are scary as they are. Like that's what they are, but holy shit, that looked like legitimately threatening.
Yeah, yeah. There was There was another the coffin drop outside too, off the stairs. He bounced
Yeah,
off him like a basketball. I said, Lord. And then the way he landed, I thought he scorpion on the ground. I said, stop it. What are you doing?
yeah. I mean, this was very much Darby Death formula, and then just like what I love about Darby when he wins matches like this too. It's like he doesn't screw around. Like, yeah, he will take that moment to register with the crowd, but like when he hit these two coffin drops, he was like, nope, I got my window. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna win this damn match. And I love that he flipped the bird in between too. That was a funny little touch.
Nice little touch.
Yeah. I think of all people to run the gauntlet against the Don Callis family, Darby's perfect for it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we're going to get that, but like we've been fiending for that Jake Doyle match.
One person he has to go after too. Get him back in the ring. Come on. He can wrestle on the Mary Jeans if he wants to. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll take Darby Allin, Lance Archer. I think Darby Allin, Hechicero would be incredibly interesting as far as the styles clash.
Sick as fuck. Give me there's so many options because there's 13 members of this family.
Darby Fletcher, I feel like that happened.
That's when I was thinking. I was like, I think we already got that one.
Was it during his title reign?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my mind is. I've been watching The Sopranos and they say, oh, Mushad. My mind's been Mushad. Oh, Mushi. Let's see. I don't believe he wrestled him recently.
Do that big girl, man.
Yeah, 100%. I believe they were supposed to wrestle in the Continental Classic and they never got to. Fletcher, I mean. Yes, because he got concussed in the first match. Yeah, and like it's hard to keep track of like I'm reading this year like his match log from this year alone, and it is just ridiculous. Man, that title reign was awesome. He wrestled Fletcher in the big cage, so they interacted, but they haven't had a singles in AEW. Yeah, that's a huge match. So I would like to see that. Backstage with Kevin Knight, and essentially, he's dismissing the comments towards him, and then I did like his kind of closing statement though in the promo where he's like, "Yeah, there's no goodness in my heart, only greatness." I thought that was a cool line. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I thought Kevin Knight did all he needed to in that promo. Kenny was just kind of losing track a little bit, a lot of bit. But do you feel like it's too soon for guys to kind of be talking him off the edge here? Because like Speedball's here saying like, no, like we know the good in you, this, and that. Because now this just feels like a giant backpedal from him joining Don Callis' family to begin with. It's like I said when they turned him heel, though. I think he is that good that he'll make anything work.
Wrestle
That's a
or
good question.
I feel like that match was on the table too, at some point.
When did you? Okay, I got Darby's match. I'll do some work here in post. Yeah, they wrestled on June 3rd. Yeah, like right after Double or Nothing. Yeah, but I mean, you have the TNT belt in there now. You can definitely run that for the title if you wanted to. Uh, I just thought it was weird that like we're pushing him now and like this is for real when you're main event territory like for a world title against Kenny Omega. We're already talking him back from the turn, so I just thought that was a little bit weird. But I would hope Speedball be on that card too in some capacity because that's hometown for him next week in Montreal. Main event time, and once again, to no fault of their own, this guy was a little mentally checked out here. Yeah, once again, all the structure of the show is completely out the window. I get why this was placed here, though. Mercedes' hometown, and I feel like she might have a little bit more pull as far as being in this position and working with who she would want to, and she's always trying to. This was her platforming a bunch of young wrestlers. You know what I mean? Main event high on, dude.
I've got DPW right here.
Yeah,
And
high on my world. The return Willow Nightingale against Divine Dominion and Mercedes. I like Divine Dominion as Mercedes heaters. I I feel like Mercedes having an actual faction is long overdue. I know that she's had different people in and out with like Camille, and I feel like she's had other alliances before. I know she's spoken highly of the Renegade Twins in the past. We never seen anything like truly fabricated on television though, and those the three walking out, they all got belts. It makes complete sense to me. Yeah, yeah, just powerhouses, right? Now, I think we already know where we're going though by the lack of Triangle of Madness, and immediately it's Willow and Mercedes. Willow's been back a week, and she's hasn't been on screen without Mercedes.
I
Yeah, she wins the gauntlet while Mercedes was watching, gets beat down. Then now we're here. Now don't get me wrong, Mercedes versus Willow. I mean, the only match that they had that wasn't awesome was because Mercedes broke her foot in the middle of the match in New Japan. Yeah, that was actually the first time they wrestled, and they had to call an audible because Mercedes like messed up her foot. The two AEW matches were both fucking awesome, and I think that's a big money match for Wembley. Like that makes total sense, and I think Willow wins. I know, like, cause look what they're doing here. Like
it's
Mercedes came back, she's still healed.
true, but it's hard to call with these women though.
Yeah, I know they kept her away from the world
Because
title enough.
I don't want Willow to be a transitional champion. So like, you know what I'm saying? Do you do that
That
to her after she? I mean, I don't know.
I'm shocked that Mercedes is still heel since coming back, and I almost feel like this is going to be the big humbling. Like, she still can't get over the hump by, like, acting like this. Like, she needs to walk the straight and narrow path, so to speak. We got a month and some change until then, but I'm like, man, like, we might be going on a run with Willow here. Let's go. I've been waiting for this. Yeah. This match, though, I mean, nothing wrong with it. Like I said, this was very much a showcase. I'm glad Maya World's back on TV after how successful the Forbidden Door match was. We didn't want her just disappearing into like Ring of Honor or anything, despite the fact that her and Athena, their next match, that's going to be a must watch. Yeah, we got Hion back into the mix. I was really happy about that. Divine Dominion have been like quietly have been doing their thing on Collision, and I think it shows that they're getting reps in, and then they're in a decent spot too. I just I appreciate that they were given them the main event, but I also think because of how this show got away with time, it suffered for that. Yeah, so not a bad match by any means, but maybe one that you might want to go and watch on its own in a vacuum, not when they're doing picture in picture at 9:15. Yeah. And while they're about to go off of the air, they've eaten all their overrun, they're announcing matches in the lower third. Yeah, so Death Riders against Don Callis family, is it?
Well, no, it was Osprey, Kenny, and Mox versus Cesaro, Brian Cage.
Dude, what the dude? Like I said, man, Tony Khan was just in flow state with this one. But hey, that should be sick.
Say, oh, I love Dream Blunt rotation.
Yeah, and then obviously, as we talked about, Darby Allin versus Kevin Knight. So excited for that one. I'm sure we'll have a lot to say about it this time next week. Well, that's all for AEW Dynamite. Like I said, there was good stuff on this show. Just structurally, it was all over the place. But that's not too unexpected from AEW every now and then.
What I said, last 2 hours.
Right. I don't have anything personally to plug this week, but I think we should do our due diligence about our latest boots on the ground excursion and plug a local business in the process. Warrior Wrestling presents Block Party this Sunday, July 19th, from Off Square Brewery in Crown Point, Indiana. Right in my neck of the woods, down the street from me, actually. So if you got this far into the podcast and live in the area, you can catch some matches for a decent price. Some of the names on the show include Mad Dog Connolly, Marina Shafir. We got Hazuki coming all the way from Japan. And the youngest man alive, the Outrunner. I think Gringo Loco's on the show too.
Yes.
Yeah. So catch some of these shows, get some of these wrestlers paid, have a couple brews and a pizza from Off Square. They got a really good pie, man. That real hot oven where it's like crunchy but light on the dough. Yeah, it's a cool spot. I'm assuming that they're gonna just do the actual matches outside though, because it's not the biggest room. Yeah, so if you're listening and you got nothing to do with your Sunday after the World Cup final too, the show starts at 7, so plenty of time after the big game to check out some independent wrestling in our little section of the Midwest. So, Chris, I look forward to seeing you there, and I look forward to seeing any friends as well. Yeah, I look forward to it, and I look forward to doing this next time. And if you got this far into the podcast, thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you again next week. That'll never change.